day, grade 12 learners. Welcome to today's Consumer Studies lesson. My name is Lillian Dube. Our knowledge area is still on food and nutrition, right? And our topic for today is labeling. Do you ever read the labels of the food that you eat? Are you allergic to any of the ingredients? So for you to be sure, you have to read the labels of food. As much as we read the labels of clothes, what do you do when you buy clothes? You read the label so that you check the size. You also want to check the material or the type of fabric that is used to make the clothes. So today we want to look at the labels that we find on food. Right? Our objectives or what we want to achieve today is by the end of this lesson, we should be able to identify the information that is found on labels. We should also be able to explain the purpose of labels on food packagings. We should also be able to explain misleading nutrient claims on food products and also identify examples of misleading food claims. Right. Firstly, we want to start with our assessment. I've just prepared 2 questions for you, learners. I want you to answer them. Right. Question number 1 says, dash gives information about a product. And we've got A, food labels, B, name of the product, C, nutritional value, and D, the size of the product. That's our number 1. Then number 2 says food labels are important for consumers to A, read the labels, B, buy cheaper products, C, make informed choices, and D, to see the expiry date. Right, I'll give you about 2 minutes to answer these questions. Welcome back, learners. These are the solutions to our questions. Number 1, we said dash gives information about a product. So what gives us information about a product? A is food labels. So our answer is food label, right? Then name of the product is wrong, nutritional value is wrong, and size of the product is wrong. So our answer is food labels give information about a product, right? Our question number 2 reads, food labels are important for consumers too, and our answer is to make informed choices, right? Read the labels is wrong, buy cheaper products is wrong, and to see the expiry date is wrong. Right, we proceed with our lesson. We want to look at the purpose of food labels. Why do we need the food labels on the packages of food? Right? Food labels give information about the product and also help consumers to make informed food choices. What do we mean by informed food choices? So that you know exactly what you are eating. For example, I've already given you an example of somebody who is allergic. If you are allergic to gluten, then how do you know that this product contains gluten? Then you have to read the label of that particular product so that you do not develop allergic reactions. Right, and then the basic information that must appear on a label. What do we expect to see on a label? Basically, the first thing that we see on a label is an illustration or the picture of the product, right? An illustration or the picture of a product. Then you would know that, okay, this is baked beans that I'm buying by just seeing the picture on the label of the tin of baked beans. Right, so the other information is the name of the product. Besides the picture, if you read the name or if you see the name, then you are able to read and know what is inside the packaging, right? We also expect to see the list of ingredients, which types of ingredients or what ingredients are used in that particular product, right? Including the food additives that we talked about in the other lesson, right? And then also the information on allergens, right? The packaging will come written allergens, and then underneath maybe they would say soya beans, or they would say gluten, or they would say milk, right? And the other information that is found on the product, we have got the use and storage, how you're supposed to use the product and how you're supposed to store it. On use and storage, sometimes you'll find some packages are written store in a cool, dry place, or it would say refrigerate after opening. That is the important information that consumers need to know. Or on some products, it will be written this product should be kept frozen, right? And then we also find the address of the manufacturer. For example, the address would read maybe 139 Albertina Sisulu Road in Johannesburg, right? And then we have got the expiry date or the best before date. When does the product expire? Sometimes it will be just written best before BB and then the date 06/07/24. So that's the expiry date, right? And then the size of the product. If I'm to send you to the shops today and say, go and buy me some milk, and then you'd ask me, which type of milk? What size do you want? Then I would say, go and buy me 1 liter of milk. So this is the size of the product. It is important that the food labels come with the size so that we know exactly which size we want. So if I send you, I would say, please go and buy me 500 milliliters of milk. And then when you go to the shops there, you look at the packages of milk and look for what? For a 500 milliliter package, right? And then the nutritional information is optional. So are the quantitative ingredient declaration. In short, it's QUID. Nutritional information, we are talking about the nutrients that are found in the food product. Most packages do have the nutritional information, but some do not have. And then the quantitative ingredient declaration is how much of each ingredient has been used in the product. So this information is optional. It can be there, it can appear, or it cannot appear. Right? And then we want to look at the interpretation of food labels, looking at each of the information that appears on a label one by one. Right. The first one is the name of the product. Right? The name of the product must be accurate. It must not mislead the consumer. So it can describe a category, e.g., baby formula, or describe the nature of the food. For example, cheese spread. So category, it could say baby formula, and then the nature of the food is cheese spread, right? And the name must be easy to read, at least 4 millimeters high. So it means the name of the product should not mislead the consumer. It must be a straightforward name, right? And also 4 millimeters high so that each and everyone is able to read it, and it must be written clearly, right? And then the next one is the list of ingredients. If ever the ingredients are listed on the packaging, then they must be listed from the greatest quantity to the smallest quantity by weight. So the ingredient that has got more quantity, for example, let's say we are making a cake, right? Or let me give you an example of muffins. Right, we are using flour in muffins, right? So our flour should come as the first one. And the flour in muffins is how many milliliters? Maybe we're using about 500 milliliters of flour. So this has got more weight. So that's flour, number one. And then maybe our second ingredient is oil, right? How much oil are we using? Let's say just 150 milliliters of oil. So the ingredients are listed from the greatest quantity to the smallest quantity by weight, right? I'm sure you even know from the ingredients that you have done in your practical lessons, you'll discover that the ingredient that has got the greatest quantity is the one that comes at the top on the recipes, right? Added water should be listed as an ingredient. If you read some labels, they will be written with added water, right? And then we have got additives as well. So all additives must be indicated in the ingredient list. The flavorings, colorants, and preservatives should be listed in the prescribed format. Right. Sometimes some of the food labels have got MSG. It will be written MSG free, right? I will show you a label for MSG as we go on, right? When food contains only the flavoring of an ingredient but not the ingredient itself, it must be clearly indicated with the word flavoring or flavored with, right? So it must be specified that this has been flavored with a particular ingredient, right? And then if the product contains MSG, remember we looked at MSG as a flavor enhancer when we did our additives. MSG standing for monosodium glutamate, followed by the word flavor enhancer. So it must be specified that this product contains MSG, or some packagings will actually specify that this product is MSG free. You remember when we did additives, we had a circle like that, then written MSG inside, and then there is a cancellation there showing or meaning that this product does not contain monosodium glutamate, right? And then allergens, right? The common allergens like milk, seafood, peanuts, soybeans, and gluten must be declared in the ingredient list in brackets. These are very important in case somebody is allergic to milk, then they must know that there is milk in the product, right? Some people or most people are allergic to peanuts. They must know that there is peanuts in that particular product. So what happens if it is not mentioned that there is peanut? Then somebody could develop an allergic reaction and die, right? And then the net quantity of contents. This states how much of a product the package contains, right? And then instruction for use and storage. Preparation, cooking, heating, and serving instructions should be given on the packaging, right? This is another label that we can look at together. The name of the product here on the label is Best or Best. So this is the name of the product. And then the ingredients are listed at the bottom with oats, cake flour, sugar, some margarine, some yogurt, raisins, raisin agents, and flavorings. Remember, we said the ingredients are listed from the greatest to the smallest, right? And then this shows the energy or the nutritional information, the quantitative nutritional information. It shows the energy and the quantity per 100 grams, right? And then this is MSG or the additive that is supposed to be added, but there is no additive in this one. It says no MSG, no added preservatives. If there was MSG, then it was going to be written MSG and then flavor enhancer, right? And then we also have got the best before date. We've got the customer care number, that is a phone number, and the address of the manufacturer, right? And then the size of the packaging is 100 grams, right? And the product is written proudly South African, which means it was manufactured in South Africa, right? Still on information, interpretation of information on food labels, the specific storage conditions required to keep a product at its best until the use by date should be stated in the label in large, bold, uppercase letters. So storage conditions are very important in case you do not even know that this product is supposed to be refrigerated. So it will specify to you that keep refrigerated. It will be written keep refrigerated, right? Then food recall information. This is the manufacturer's and physical address. They need to appear on the label in case it should become necessary to recall unsafe or unsuitable foods. So what will they do? If the food is unsuitable, then they should contact the manufacturer through the address that shows on the packaging, or they can actually call them using the customer care number or customer helpline that appears on the food label, right? And then we also have got a date stamp on our food labels, right? We've got the best before date, the sell by date, and the use by date, right? The best before dates are used on food that can be kept safely for a long period if properly stored. For example, convenience foods like canned foods would come with a what? A best before date. And then the sell by date indicate the last date on which the product should remain on the shop shelf. So when there's a sell by date on the product, then the shops actually reduce the prices of those products so that they are bought and finished on a particular day, right? And then the use by date are found on perishable foods such as milk, fish, and meat. This date shows the period for which the product will be of good quality and safe to eat, right? And the other information that we find on a label is the country of origin. Where was that product made? So, product of, then the name of the country. This is when all the main ingredients, processing, and labor are from one country. But then you'll discover that some products come with the labels produced, manufactured, or processed, or made in, and then the name of the country for all other food products, right? Sometimes it will be written pegged in, which means it was manufactured in another country and then pegged in another country. So it will be written pegged in, then the name of the country, and can be used in addition to the above, right? And then these are some of the food labels. This is a label of a cereal. It shows the nutritional facts there. If you can see, it says serving size, and then servings per portion, the amount of calories, the total fat, how much cholesterol the product contains, the sodium, and total carbohydrates and proteins, right? This one also comes with a nutritional spec. It shows you even how much savings you'll have. So it says 8 servings per container, and serving size two-thirds of a cup. And then the amount per serving, it shows the calories, the total fat, how much saturated fat, how much trans fat, how much cholesterol, and sodium. This one also comes with the total carbohydrates, the dietary fiber, total sugars, and it says it includes 10 grams of added sugars. There's also proteins there and some vitamins listed on the product. So this is just an example of a label that we can find on some of the food products, right? And then we also find emblems on food products. So quality emblems such as the SABS mark and emblems showing specific properties such as halal and the Heart Foundation are often used on labels. I'm sure you remember the SABS label. We have done it in grade 10. It stands for South African Bureau of Standards. So this emblem is used to certify the additives like stabilizers and thickeners that are used. So once they are used in a proper way, then it's certified as SABS approved, right? And then we go on, learners, to look at the misleading nutrient content claims on food labels. Sometimes some of these labels are misleading to the consumer. So the consumer is supposed to watch out on misleading statements that are made on food labels. So in 2012, a legislature or a regulation was passed that actually monitors the labels that are done on food so as to protect the consumers and allow the consumers to make the best food choices. So fruit juices contain high levels of fructose and sweet without adding table sugar. So we cannot say this fruit juice is sugar-free because already it contains some fructose. This is a sugar that is obtained from fruits. So there is no way we can claim that the fruit juice is what? Is sugar-free. So this becomes a misleading claim on a food label, right? And sometimes plant oils do not contain cholesterol. So the label may not claim that the oil is cholesterol free, right? The wording on the labels may not suggest health benefits that cannot be proved, right? And claims that a product is suitable for diabetes may only be made if all the requirements are met, e.g., low GI and low sodium. So on the label, it should be indicated that the food in there is low GI and there is low sodium. Then you can claim that this food is suitable for diabetes or diabetic people, right? And then I'll give you the examples of misleading claims. Some of the foods or the packages of food come written low energy, fat-free, sugar-free. Some would be written cholesterol-free. Some are written high in dietary fiber. Or some are actually saying natural, some are saying healthy. How do you prove that this product is healthy? Right? Some are saying organic and some are actually written multi-grain. So please take note of some of these misleading food claims or the misleading claims that are written on the labels of food, right? This is another food label for us to look at together. There it shows the manufacturer's name is called Harvest Foods, right? Harvest Foods is the name of the manufacturer. And then the name of the product is green peas, right? Then there's an illustration there or the picture of green peas. And then here it says, the description says all natural, right? How do we know this is all natural, right? And then it also claims, the special claim says low fat, and there is also reduced salt, right? This is a canned product. Apparently, for it to last long on the shelves, it's supposed to have preservatives, or the green peas are supposed to be preserved so that they can last long on the shelves. But then the special claim says reduced salt, right? And then there is the price there. These days, we don't usually use the price. We use the barcode. You find the barcode on the product, right? And then symbol for average quantity, that is E, and then the weight is 415 grams. So I'll send you to the shops and say, go and buy me 415 grams of green peas, or harvest green peas, right? And then we go on, learners, to our post test. I'll just give you a short test for now to see how much you have understood. So our test has got number 1, which reads, food labels may contain certain basic information. List the information that is found on a label, and it comes with 3 marks. What does that mean? It means that you must give 3 points, or list information. It means you must come up with 3 points on the food label, or on the information that is found on a food label. And then the second one says, new regulations have been drawn up to avoid misleading claims on food labels. Give a list of misleading claims. Right? I will give you about 2 minutes to answer these 2 questions. Welcome back, learners. We want to answer the questions. I'm giving you now the answers to the questions that I've given you. Our number 1 reads, food labels may contain certain basic information. List the information found on a label, right? On a label, we find the name of the product, the nutritional information, the allergens, the size of the product, the address of the manufacturer. There is quite a number of them that you can actually mention, right? And then our number 2 says, give a list of misleading claims. Give a list of misleading claims, right? If the product says low energy, it could be a misleading claim. Fat-free, sugar-free, cholesterol-free, and high in dietary fiber. So those are the misleading claims. Right? We're done with our post-test, and then we go on to our summary for the lesson. Read, food labels are an important tool to help you make informed food choices. And we also say that the name of the product, its ingredients, instructions for use, storage, manufacturer's details, and date stamps must appear on the label. Nutritional information and the quantitative ingredients declaration are optional, right? The information listed on food labels must be true and not misleading to the consumer. We have come to the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching. See you next time.